All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Hadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of current global events being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kwadash, where I go into biblical prophecy, um, global events, which I present to you happening all over the world, and linking it to prophecy that is written in the Holy Scriptures to show you that everything that is written in the Holy Scriptures is faithful and true, and that we are indeed living in the last days where we are indeed living at the very end of Esau Edom's empire.
As Israel presses ahead with its fight against Hamas, Palestinians in Gaza are living in a nightmare, with thousands of civilians being forced to flee southern Rafah city and eastern Jabalia in northern Gaza. The entire strip witnessed a night of heavy aerial and ground bombardments. Gazans were told to leave parts of Rafah's Shabura refugee camp, the Janina refugee camp, and Kirbed al-Adas neighborhoods and other areas. They were told to move to a designated humanitarian area in Al-Mawasi on the coast. Aid groups and United Nations officials have warned the area is already overcrowded and not ready to receive an influx of people. People loaded donkey carts and trucks with their belongings, leaving behind empty streets covered in rubble of collapsed buildings. Explosions and several large plumes of smoke were seen rising over northern Gaza after Israeli fighter jets carpeted the Jabalia refugee camp. Israeli military tanks were seen going deeper into the camp, even as civilians were ordered to be evacuated. Jabalia is the biggest of Gaza's 8 historic refugee camps and is home to more than 100,000 people. At least 21 people have been reportedly killed in the Israeli airstrikes in central Gaza. Top Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says the Air Force is carrying out airstrikes in the north of Gaza to prevent Hamas from re-establishing its military capabilities there. Further adding, the IDF troops operating in Gaza City's Zaytun district have managed to kill some 30 militants.
בהליך פינוי זמני של מרחב ג'באליה מאזור זה לעבר מרכז הרצועה, וזאת כחלק מהערכות שלנו לפעולה צבאית במרחב. זיהינו בשבועות האחרונים ניסיונות של חמאס לשקם את יכולותיו הצבאיות בג'באליה, ואנחנו פועלים שם כדי לפרק את הניסיונות הללו. זיהינו בשבועות האחרונים ניסיונות של חמאס לשקם את יכולותיו הצבאיות בג'באליה.
Many Palestinians living Jabalia were seen carrying whatever belongings they could, having already been displaced several times over.
And you see, this is what happens when the wicked bear rule over the whole earth, okay? As a matter of fact, let me show you something because, see, is that Revelation 6 or is that Revelation 7? I don't know, but Okay. Let's see. Okay. So you see, when the wicked bear rule over the whole earth, and the basically power has been given in his hand to do what he wants. Okay. Pretty much, what do you think the wicked is going to do with the power he has? Okay. In the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter, Esau was blessed with the sword. Okay. I mean, I don't need to get it, but in the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter, Isaac basically told Esau that he would have the fatness of the earth, and by thy sword shalt thou live. See that? And shall serve thy brother Jacob. So, these devils, they live by the sword. And what was the purpose of a sword being created? The whole purpose of a sword being created was for pretty much the sake of war, for the whole purpose of war. Okay. And as you will see, the very first weapon was created in the book of Genesis from a guy who was a descendant of Cain. Okay. So when we come over here, you know, as touching end time prophecy, this is what the scriptures say the wicked would do in the last days. Revelation 6 and 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. Okay. And we know that the wicked, which will be the Edomites, starting with the self proclaimed white man, okay, we know that they would be synonymous with death. Okay. Chapter 2, verse 5. Okay. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. What is that wine a representation of? That wine is a representation of his democracy. Okay, that wine is his democracy, and that democracy has nothing to do with life. Okay, because really Esau's democracy is backed by it is the foundation of Esau's democracy is what? Doest thou will shall be the will of the law. Okay? Do as thou will shall be the will of the law, which is all synonymous for what? Death, rebellion. Okay? Now, in the book of Proverbs, it tells you, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. But in this case, Esau never had any understanding of righteousness. Because what does it mean to wander out of the way of understanding? It means to wander out of the way of understanding, of knowing how to do right, which is what? Through righteousness. Okay, which you learn how to be righteous through the schoolmaster, which are the laws of the scriptures. Now we're not going to be saved on keeping the laws of the scriptures, but we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, which we can keep to the best of our ability to show our obedience and our faith toward Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. But now we know that according to Habakkuk 2 and 4, if we scroll up here, right, it says what? Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So it's not in these devils to do right. And you do right by observing the laws, statutes, and commandments and keeping them. But we know that the laws, statutes, and commandments were given only to the Israelites. And that's according to the book of Psalms, the 147th chapter. And I believe, I don't want to wing it, but let's just go there. Okay, he showed his word unto Jacob, his laws and his statutes unto Israel. He have not done so with any other nations. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Okay, Psalms. So let's go to Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. Okay. It says, he, who's the he? That's the Most High Yahweh. Okay. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. You see that? And that started with our forefather Moses, which he gave the commandments to him on Mount Sinai. Okay. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder. You see? You know, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's land, his landmark, you know, thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's. Okay. So it says, he have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So the other nations have never known the way of righteousness. And that the same thing applies to Esau, Edom. Okay. Esau has never known the way of righteousness. Okay. So, yea, also because he is the Edomites, the wicked, transgressive by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied. That gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, so this man is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. Okay, And we know that this is talking about Esau, Edom, right? When all you got to do is scroll up here. Okay? And there's only one nation of people whom the Lord hath made crooked that cannot be straight, and that's the Edomites. Okay? So Revelation 6 and 8, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. And power was given unto him to them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword. And what do we see going on here?
حرام عليهم. ايش بدنا نعمل؟ هاي هكذا نضلنا في الشوارع قاعدين. حرام، هذا حرام. حنوا علينا، اشفقوا علينا يا عرب، يا مسلمين، يا يهود، يا امريكان، يا امريكا، اشفقوا علينا.
You can
احنا
tell
صباح
she's pissed.
لمسنا. حرام عليكم، موتونا كلنا. حرام عليكم، اتقوا فينا، اتقوا فينا. لازم تعملوا فينا ايه؟
في المدارس صاروا يقبضوا قذائف علينا. في المدارس يقعنا القذائف، الشظايا فوق رؤوسنا يقعنا.
If you look at their city, it's literally in rubble. And people are fed up with these Edomites. Okay? They're fed up with these damn Edomites. Okay? You got people complaining left and right. Okay? So power was given them to kill with the sword. And that's what we see going on here. Civilians dying by bombings, cities being left in ruin, rubble. People, people can't live. So it says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger. You got people dying of starvation in these third world countries, and with death. Okay, and with the beasts of the earth. Okay, so let's type in take peace from the earth. Let's see what comes. Okay, so this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. Okay. We know that red is synonymous with Edom. Okay. When you look up the word Edom, it goes back to the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. Okay. Edom goes back to the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. Okay. So we know that horse is a representation of power. And when you put two and two together, right? Who's in power? Mr. Red is Edom. Okay. And power was given to him that sat thereon to what? To take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given him a great sword. And we know that great sword to be the nuclear missiles. So you see, power was given him to take peace from the earth.
Gazans were seen arriving in al-Sabtwai near Jabalia after fleeing the city, following Israeli evacuations order as troops were battling militants in several parts of the Palestinian territory. We earlier spoke to Professor James A. Russell, who is an associate professor in the Department of National Security Affairs at Naval Postgraduate School, and this is what he had to say.
Well, the situation on the ground right now, I think, as you have explained clearly to your viewers, is that we can expect.
I don't want to hear anything from the devil's mouth. Hopefully you were edified and informed through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.